Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I highly anticipated this one. A lot of people have been very excited about this palette. This is the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette. This is the newest release. I'm pretty sure it's part of their spring collection. Basically, we're going to be reviewing, demoing, testing, swatching, doing everything that we can with this palette today, and then I'm going to be letting you guys know whether or not it is worth the hype and worth the money. I'm not going to lie, this is one of the first sort of colourful palettes that they've released in a while, and from all the photos and everything, it's looking like the kind of palette that I would be into. So yeah, basically we're going to go through this. Like I said, I'm going to swatch every shade in the palette for you. I'm going to be testing all of the colors, so we'll do like a really close-up demonstration on my eyes, and then I'm going to give you a review and whether or not I think it's actually worth your time and your money. So yeah, if you're interested in a review of the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette, then please keep on watching. Alright, so this is what the external packaging of the palette looks like. It's really cute. It's like got nautical, like beach vibes. On the back it says, set sail with 14 all-new paradise-inspired mattes and metallics, from vibrant jewel tones to pops or bright pops of color. All right, cool. Now, from what I can tell on the back, the format of the palette is exactly the same as all Anastasia Beverly Hills other palettes. I am going to assume that it's going to be the same price as the rest of the palettes that they do offer. You've got 14 shades in the palette, a net weight of 0.73 grams per shade. Like the actual external box is really cute. It's got these cute blue lines. Like it's very nautical, like I said. And then there's just some information on the back there about it. So, the actual palette, let's dive in. This is what she looks like, and oh no, I'm already peeling the sticker off the back. Whoops. Okay, so again, you've got, you know, those lines. This one's got a very different texture to all of the other Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. It kind of feels like a canvas material. It feels really sturdy, and you know what? I'm super glad that it's not velvet. Like, I am not on board with velvet palettes. They just get so dirty, but I mean, at the same time, this has got so much white on it, it's going to be filthy too. So yeah, outside of the palette, you've got those white and blue lines, and then you've got Riviera in gold, Anastasia sort of, their logo down the bottom there. And then the back of the palette's a little bit different. Most of their palettes, they've got all of the same information as what is printed on the box, but this one is actually like a little sticker. And like I said, like this sticker's, like it's pretty much going to come off straight away. Not that that's really an issue or anything, but that's just something to bear in mind. Like this sticker, like it's just not, it doesn't adhere very well to the canvas. The feel, weight, size, like quality of the palette feels very much the same as the rest of their palettes. It's got like a metallic blue around the outside. It is really pretty. I do think, like, aesthetically wise, this is a beautiful looking palette. Now let's get into the inside. Oh, it's so pretty. So the inside of the palette is all this beautiful metallic blue, and then these are the shades that you get. I really do like what they've done with this palette in terms of the set out. So across the top here, it seems like they've got all of the shimmer shades and then all of the matte shades across the bottom. And you'll notice from this palette, I mean, typically Anastasia is very well known for, you know, berry tones, warm tone, like neutral kinds of palettes. This one's really different. There's lots of beautiful pops of color. Look at this hot pink. We've got a deep purple, turquoise, like bright gold, like really pretty colors in here. Now, what I do like when first looking at this palette, oh, actually, I think Sails at the top here, this white one is a matte. So it's not all shimmers across the top. But what I do like is there's, like, from looking at it, I can see that there's everything that I would need to create a full, like, complete look. I really don't, like, palettes that I can't just travel with the one palette kind of irritate me. I like to be able to be like, okay, I can create everything that I need with this palette, I can pack it and I'm good to go. I like that this one has a matte, like light color, well, not even like a matte, but like a light color for the brow bone, for highlighting and things like that. There's a couple of different options for transition shades, which is really good to see. Cabana's a very interesting looking color. It's like kind of like a mustard. It's really interesting looking. I like that it's got a deep dark shade. So if you want to like darken up or smoke up a look, you can do it. Lots of pops of color. There's cool tones, there's warm tones. Like, and those shimmers look absolutely incredible. Like, I do think, you know, it's different. It brings something new to the table. It's really pretty. It's really well thought out. And I really do like the color scheme. So just as a general, like, first first thoughts on opening it, that's what I'm thinking. When I don't think this has been reformulated, I'm pretty sure this is the same formula as all of their other palettes. Obviously, not permitting to subculture. Subculture was an entirely different formulation all on its own. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the formula is exactly the same. So what we're going to do now is jump into swatches of the palette. So I'm going to show you all of the shades, the texture, and the true color on my skin close up so you can get a really good idea of them. And then we're going to start creating a look on my eyes, and hopefully she's good, she blends well, she's got good payoff. Hopefully it works out, but yes, let's do the swatches. All right, jumping into the swatches, the first shade is a matte white color. It is quite chalky and was very difficult to swatch, as you could see. Then we have a shimmery bronze, more of like a satin sort of a shimmer, a really, really pretty metallic kind of a turquoise. Again, quite... like, I did find the formulation of a lot of these glitters quite chunky when swatching. We've got a shimmery pink. Then we do have like a shimmery, it's nearly like a duochrome, kind of like a purpley, grey, kind of silvery kind of a color. A really shimmery yellow gold, a shimmery sort of lighter blue with purple reflex. Again, quite chunky, very loose formula. Then into the mattes. Now, I really did have a difficult time swatching these. As you can see, you know, you sort of swatch initially and then the color just disappears. So we've got a peach, then we have a mustard, then we have this really pretty vibrant, it's kind of like a coral kind of a peach, then the matte pink, and you saw that right there, like she ain't playing. Like it's, I honestly did have a hard time. Amazing vibrant color though, very pretty. Then we've got like a dusty rose sort of a pink there. That would be really pretty through like as a transition shade, I reckon. Then the matte vibrant purple, again, she's hard work. I'm just like literally rubbing it into the skin so that you guys can actually see the color there. And then I ran out of space, so back on the other side we have the matte dark brown, and again a lot of trouble to get that to show so that you guys could actually see the color of the swatch. So here are all of these shades all matched up all together. So really pretty color palette, very different, very vibrant, very fun. I do really like the shades in this one. All right, so those are all of the swatches, and I've zoomed you in a bit so that we can get onto the actual demonstration. I just wanted to show you quickly, there's quite a bit of mess. Like these shimmer shades are really quite loose, and I do find them to be a little bit chunky, not gonna lie. And I also, you would have seen from the swatches, I did have a fair bit of trouble swatching majority of the mattes. They were quite patchy. Like I personally just didn't think that they were the same texture and the same sort of smoothness as a lot of the other palettes. Like I always say, do not ever judge an eyeshadow based on a finger swatch. They're not designed to perform like that. You know, now is going to be the real test of exactly how these go. And I want to give you guys a really thorough, in-depth, you know, demonstration of as many shades as I possibly can in this palette. So either I'm going to do 2 separate eyeshadow looks, or we might do one, wipe it off, and then do a second one to get a really good idea of exactly how this works. I might just do like one look on this eye and another on the other eye. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, because there are a lot of shades in this that I'm not going to lie, I feel like a little bit like, I don't know how good this is. So those are my thoughts. So let's jump into the actual demonstration. Even just looking at this palette, I'm like, wow, there are so many different options. There really is. I can do a cool tone look. I can do a warm tone look. I can do smoky daytime neutral looks. I can do something bright and really exciting for nighttime. Like I do definitely feel like this palette has got quite a few good options. To start with, I am going to take this white shade here. This is Sales, and I'm just going to take it on a flat eyeshadow brush. Quite a bit of fallout, and they are very soft formula. Tap off the excess, and I'm just going to pack this right on the brow bone. There's a fair bit of pigment for a white matte shadow. I just wanted to see how it worked as a highlighter. It does work pretty well. I'm going to pack a little of that on the inner corner too, just to brighten the area and sort of prep for everything else. But see, I don't know if you can see, I did tap off the excess. There's a whole lot of fallout on my eyes. It's sitting all under here, and it's actually on my eyelid as well. Like they are very loose, I don't know, kind of chalky-ish matte shades. I'm going to go in with Estate now. This is one of the transition shades in the palette. It's like a really pretty pale peach. And I'm picking that one up on an eye. Look, again, there's so much kickback. Can you guys see that there? There's a lot of kickback. They're very soft. Very soft. I'm gonna work that shade through the crease. Oh, that's a really pretty color, that one. I do like that as a transition shade. Pretty. And I'm kind of blending that one sort of upwards and over, like that white that we've laid down earlier. I think that blended out really well. So we're going to move into Coastline next. Coastline is this one here, and it's like a deeper version of this one. It's a little bit more of like a peachy, orangey undertone. Coastline, you do get less kickback than you did Estate, but you still do get a bit, and it's significantly darker on the brush anyway. I'm going to start working that one through the crease as well. Oh, that's beautiful color. Oh, I do like that one a lot. Especially for a transition, like that is gorgeous. Oh, that's a pretty color. I'm concerned about the palm, the deep matte brown. It was really patchy on swatching. So let's try and go in with that one now. So I've picked palm up on a flat brush, tapping off the excess. I'm gonna pack it the outer corner. Definitely got a lot of pigmentation, like very strong color payoff, especially when it did swatch. Like it was really patchy. I had to go over and over it again. Like it was just taking a clean blending brush now. I'm going to start to run that over the edge of palm to start to blend that one out. Oh, it is blending out, but I certainly wouldn't say it's blending the best of, you know, any brown eyeshadow. Oh, and it's gone all patchy on my lid there. All right, I'm picking up a bit of palm on this same blending brush, dusting off the excess. I'm going to try blending with that instead. It's blending pretty well through the crease there, but you can see that it's completely knocked off the shadow off my lid, and it's left, you know, like quite a blank spot, I guess you could say, on the lid there. I'm going to go back into Coastline, picking up a bit of Coastline on this same brush. I'm going to try and use that to sort of smooth it a bit further. That has blended it out, but I do think with palm, this is going to be like if you want to put it all over, you're going to have to blend first, go back in, and pack it back on when it gets patchy. It's not the easiest shadow to work with for sure. But it does look pretty. Like now that it's on, it does look really pretty, but yeah, she's not easy to use. So I'm going to move on and I'm going to try out Yacht. Yacht is the pretty shimmery bronzy color in the palette. I'm just going to pick that up on a finger and I'm going to try that on the lid here with this look. Like, I think they'll complement each other really well. Oh, they do. Oh my God, that's so pretty. Oh, I did not expect to like it that much. Interesting to see if like the outer corner here goes patchy again. Like normally if things knock off while you're blending, they normally will knock off again during the day while you're wearing them. So we'll keep an eye on it. That bronze, like it's got beautiful payoff. It's really shimmery. It sticks well to the lid. I feel like it's really even and smooth on application. I do really like that bronze color. Now I'm keen to try this color here. There's a really vibrant turquoise. I also want to try Inheritance, the vibrant gold. So that's why we need to do two separate eyeshadow looks so that you can actually be like, okay, I know it's all good. So I'm going to take a flat brush, this little one here, and I'm going to pick up, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Seychelles? Seychelles? I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to pick up the green on a dry outer. Oh, that actually picked up quite a lot of pigment for a dry eyeshadow brush. That's cool. If I tap it, how much falls off? Oh, not heaps. Okay, let's go in with that and try it. I'm going to try packing that right on the inner corner. Ooh. that's a beautiful color as well. That's such a pretty, like, flattering, vibrant turquoise. I love that. I'm actually going to sort of put that one all through the inner corner. How pretty is that? Oh, I do like that a lot. Ooh. I did get a little bit of fallout, but like nothing too crazy. It's working well. It's working well. And surprisingly, that green worked really, really well with a dry brush. Like, it was quite kind of chunky-ish when I originally swatched it, so I wasn't sure, but it actually, you get quite a bit. That's what I mean, like, you can't judge a shadow based off a swatch. Now, through the lower lash line, I think we should try Cabana. That's that mustard. It's like a really interesting sort of looking transition shade. I'm going to pick that one up on like a small pencil brush. Yeah, it's really yellow. And sort of work, I'm not getting much payoff from that one actually. Through the lower lash line. Yeah, that's a very soft kind of muted colour. You don't really get too much payoff from that one. I mean, it's definitely there. Like, you can see that it's there, but it's not like, you know, crazy like Coastline, if you get what I mean. All right, so that's what we are looking like at the minute. Let's move on to the other side and try out a whole bunch of different colors. I'm going to start out with Estate again. I'm going to work that through as a transition shade. It's Coastline, not Estate. Working that through softly just to sort of prep the area. I'm thinking we might try the hot pink out and see how that goes. The purple was very, very patchy on swatching, so I think we should try that too. So I'm going to go into Monte Carlo. It's like a soft, dusty pink. This is another shade actually. When I was swatching it, it was like in the finger swatch, it stayed darker on the outer corner and then it was lighter and patchier on the, not on the outer corner, on the outsides of the swatch, and then on the inside it was like patchy and lighter. It was quite odd. Also, worthy to mention, quite a lot of kickback from Monte Carlo there. There's a lot of powder sitting there on the pan. I'm going to go in with Monte Carlo. Oh, crap. That is pigmented. Pretty colour. Yeah, it's a really pretty colour. It's actually quite easy to blend too. I'm going to go in with a little more. Do a second pass and just see what happens. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at that colour. That is insane. Okay, we're going to go even harder. Let's take Bahamas. Bahamas is literally like a fluoro pink. Like, pow, fluoro. I'm going to try it on this blending brush here. So picking up Bahamas. Oh, this is a dangerous game. Tapping the excess. And then let's go in with Bahamas. Oh my goodness. I've not seen a fluoro pink like this. Probably since the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I used that pink so much in that palette. I loved it. And this is performing incredibly well, actually. Like, did you just watch how easy that was to blend out? It literally blended for me. Let's go in with Cans now. This is the purple. It's like a matte, deep, sort of pinky toned purple. So I've just got a dry flat brush. We're going to try this first. So picking up Cans, I'm concerned about fallout with this. I am tapping off the excess. And we're going to pack this in the outer corner. Yeah, it doesn't apply that well. Like it's a little patchy. All right, let's get a blending brush. This one here is clean. So taking a dry, clean, nothing on it blending brush. I'm first gonna buff out the edges of that purple. See how that goes. It is blending, but slowly. So picking up a little of Cans on the brush, tapping off the excess and going in again. Yeah, they blend out much better if you pick a little bit up. That's for sure. But in a similar way to that deep dark brown shadow that we use in this outer corner over here, see how as I've blended it, it's gone patchy? Like you can see patchiness on the lid just here and here. These shades you are going to need, I mean, they're probably pressed pigments. I did say that right, didn't I? I was like, that's a tongue twister. Which would make sense. Like sometimes it's just the nature. You have to blend and then you have to pack back on if you want like full opacity. Surprisingly, like based on that, they do, like it does come together eventually. Like they do look quite pretty eventually. So going back in with the purple on a flat brush, let's try packing it back on. I haven't seen like a super vibrant purple like this since the Urban Decay Electric palette either. It is absolutely intense on another level. Beautiful though. I mean, we've tested every matte in the palette now, so it's really just the shimmers, but I actually kind of want to pack cans on the inner corner as well. So I'm going to get a little more of it on my brush and sort of start to pack it in here. Holy cow. I love that purple. Like, that's intense. All right, now that we've got that purple applied and blended out, I think we should try Palermo, I'm not sure. The shimmery pink in the palette. So let's try it with a dry brush first to see how it goes, because some of these other shades really did surprise me with a dry brush. So picking it up. Yeah, like look how much shadow that picks up. That's pretty impressive for a dry brush. Yeah, look, you get so much. That's really, really impressive for a dry brush. Like, no kidding. Can vouch for that. Curiosity's sake, let's try it on a finger. Yeah, it's very buttery. Definitely get more payoff with the finger, but that's to be expected with any shimmer. What I am impressed with is that it does perform and can perform with a dry brush. It's good. And for a bit of fun, let's try the gold. So Inheritance, it's like this beautiful, like it's bright, like it's a bright yellow gold. I'm going to pick Inheritance up on a dry brush. See how that goes. Not bad. And I'm going to pack it right here. Inheritance hasn't really worked that well with a dry brush. Let's try with a finger. Oh my god, it's so pretty. So just dabbing that on the center, and it's kind of, I might have overtaken Palermo a little. So fixing, blending, doing what we need to. Yeah, that panned out pretty well actually. On the fallout front, you can see we got a lot of fallout. Again, I mean, I'm not really surprised. I'm not really that bothered by it. I would expect that, you know, with shimmers, especially on a dry brush. So I'm just gonna sort of try and clean that up. And that means that the only two shades in the palette that we haven't tried is Seaside and Mediterranean. Let's put them on. Why not? Let's go in with Mediterranean. Mediterranean is like this beautiful blue. This one's quite chunky. I'll pack that over the bronze. Oh, that's a very pretty color. I'm not mad about that. That is pretty. Oh, and it's funny, like it's so chunky and it's nearly like a pressed pigment, nearly like a loose pigment that's just sort of been like forced in there, because it is quite flaky and chunky, and especially when you swatch it, but then it's actually quite smooth on the lid. And then we just have Seaside. Where the hell am I going to put Seaside? Seaside is like it's like a shimmer. It's nearly like a duochrome though. Could I just pack Seaside over the top of Mediterranean? Sure. Why not? Oh, you might not be able to see it. Oh, but lots of payoff from that one. It's sort of just more like a grayier version of Mediterranean, really. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it's every single shade in the palette. You know what? I'm not even going to bother. I was thinking maybe I'll, take one eye off and then fix it up and make the match, but I'm not even going to bother. All right, so here are my thoughts. Like I said earlier, the overall look and aesthetic of the palette I think is really, really beautiful. Like, to look at, I think it's stunning. And like I said, I really like the color story. Like, it's a beautiful color story. It's really good to see some bright, bold colors in an Anastasia palette, for a bit of a change. Initially, I was really quite unsure about the formulation of this palette. I just felt like the mattes are really chalky and choppy and quite patchy in the swatches. And then I also felt like the shimmers, they kind of seemed like dry and quite chunky and just sort of difficult to work with. But as you saw throughout the demonstration of that tutorial, that really was not the case with majority of them. I do think that Cannes, the deep matte purple, and Palm, the deep matte brown, they are sort of difficult shades to work with. These are not going to be, dark colors that you can just chuck in your crease and blend out really quickly and easily, and it's going to be perfect and seamless. Like, it definitely takes a little while, like quite a little while, to blend them out really perfectly and smoothly to get a nice soft edge, because otherwise you pretty much, it leaves you with like a line in between like where the dark ends and then the light starts. And also, if you are going to be blending or like applying them on your crease, just blend it through the crease first and then apply it with a flat brush on your eyelid afterwards. Or, you can pack it on first, then blend, and then just pack it on again, because certainly when blending, you do knock off quite a bit of the pigment and it will end up patchy unless you go back in and reapply over the top. A lot of kickback in these mattes, as you saw and as I showed. They are very, very softly pressed in there, so you're definitely going to have to use a light hand with them. More certainly these lighter colors as opposed to these darker mattes. Like, the lighter mattes are just really, really soft and quite powdery. But in saying that, they blended out really, really well, like through the crease, like these 5 colors. I mean, this one I don't think that, it wasn't too intense, but it's probably just a little bit too close to my skin tone to really be able to see it. But yeah, these 5 mattes along the bottom here, they all blend absolutely perfectly, very easy to work with. The shimmers, a lot of intensity, a lot of payout, especially on a dry brush, which is amazing to see. And also especially, again, because they were so kind of like dry and chunky, like when I did the swatches originally. Yacht is a different shimmer formula to the rest of the shimmers. These are all quite loose, quite chunky. They're more of like a pressed sort of formula, but then Yacht is like a straight up shimmer, sort of satin kind of a shimmer. Overall, I think it's a beautiful palette. I think that, I'm happy with how both of the looks turned out. I think there are a lot of really cool, fun options in this palette for really cool, colorful, bright looks. Yeah, I think as an overall, it's a beautiful palette. A couple of shades in here are tricky to work with, but overall, she's pretty good. And like I said, lots of really nice, fun colors. Definitely something very, very different to what Anastasia has had out before. Halfway through this review, I was like, oh no, I hate it. This is not going to be good, like just after the swatches, but it's beautiful. I do think it's a different formulation to the other palettes. I wouldn't be going into this expecting to be able to use it in exactly the same way as you use like Soft Glam or Modern Renaissance. It's a different formula, but at the same time, it's not that difficult. A couple of shades are, but for the most part, it's not difficult to work with. So yes, that is it for my review today, guys. I hope that you found this video hopefully helpful. I hope that it answered any questions that you might have had about the palette. As always, guys, if you do have any more questions, please, please, please be sure to pop them down below. All right, guys, that's pretty much it from me. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe. And step 3, ring that notification bell. Otherwise, you will not be notified of my new uploads or my new videos. You will not be notified of anything. You will be in the dark by yourself. That sounds awful. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.